There we go. Hi, welcome back, everybody. I said I would show you what their clever marketing was here at this booth. Short Sale Solutions, right above me over my right-hand shoulder. I'll turn down the quality because apparently reception is cut down. Short Sale Solutions, they're the ones who put me up because David doesn't want a booth. I have a new guest.
Oh, I am.
David thought I was kidding about this. David Bartels, go to a mitigation booth, run into more mitigators. See how it is? Hold on. Yeah, don't show me this message again. This is what happens when you run your own tech. I actually had this cool little stand so it could stand up. Yeah, that lasted. There you go.
Well, hi everybody.
It's like a famous.
Well, I thought I was just stopped by to say hello.
David
I didn't know I was going to be an on-air celebrity.
We don't want to offend it. David Bartels from Exit Realty stopped by. For those, he's a mitigator, much like Short Sale Solutions, like Marlene and Tina. Actually, everybody's friendly here. Plenty of business for everybody. Today's premise was very simple. I wanted to talk what you were just talking about in the sessions you went to. 1 out of 4 deals is a short sale. That's the bottom line. All right. And we're noticing the trends here where people are definitely, it's 1 out of 4 people stopping, and if you had a booth, it'd be 1 out of 4 that want to talk to you. Did you talk to the national short sale people?
I just said hello to them.
They don't. We found out they're full of crap.
Well,
they've done thousands of short sales in only a year.
No way. I'm impressed.
Now, of all the people here that I make fun of, Diana, for those of you who don't know, I guess we technically call her Lee's handler.
Yeah, that's my name for
That's
her.
Perfect. She'll probably text right now and go, "That's brilliant."
Everybody needs a handler,
the
though, Lee.
CEO of Lee Honish LLC gave me a perfect analogy, so I'm not going to be as hard on some of the marketing booths. Here's the analogy. Do you wash your own car? Well, no, I don't.
Me neither.
And she goes, "You know how to. It's free. Why don't you?" "Well, because I can pay someone to do it for me." And she goes, "Then why are you mad at people who are doing video blogs? Those are free technically on the web. Why are you mad at people who put flyers on the web for you?" Which to me is about as low a common denominator as it gets. Last year, the one that got me was, "We'll put a video on YouTube for you." That's a little rough in my universe still. But Diana's right. If it's something you can afford and it gives you the freedom to do it, in fact, there are some ideas now that I will steal. I will find a third party to do them. I'll put them on my website for free or at some minimal cost. Why can't I create a service for putting flyers up or setting up some back end for my own web? That's fine. Some ideas to set up for other people. I'm okay with that.
Right.
But you were in a session based on marketing, and you picked up some things about Instagram and some of the other. I'm guessing a lot of people really don't follow technology and what it can do.
No, I don't think everyone's as smart as you are. That's the problem.
I'm bored. Nobody's listening to Seth Godin books for a 7-hour car ride. I mean, it's so shocking to you that I take the car ride so I can catch up on my reading.
Well, like for guys like me, like I'm not new at technology, and I'm no geek either, but I'm not afraid of technology, and I love technology tools and cool apps. But for me, it has to be easy, because anytime it turns into a project, I run from it. And so and I'm another guy, and I'm one of the guys, and I guess there are a lot of out there like that thinks that if I can't see, if me doing it doesn't make an impact on the bottom line, then and somebody else can do it, then I just let them do it. Is the way that, so I can focus on rainmaking activities.
Okay, well, let's talk about rainmaking. Much like the women.
Yeah.
You run a brokerage too.
I do.
I think it's so funny that you guys almost have identical models.
I don't know that much. I just like them. I like talking to them.
They have a short sale mitigation company,
right,
and they've got a brokerage on the back end.
Exactly. So the way I looked at it is that if the market, so I have this short sale mitigation company, and I have this retail brokerage over here. If the market goes bust, then the short sale goes up and the other one goes down. If the market goes boom, then the retail goes up and the short sale goes down. I feel like I'm positioned to win either way.
Right, but you came in, now here's where the weird angles are. you came in originally from the mortgage side.
I came in from the mortgage side, exactly.
They came in from the investor side, but all points for anybody who makes money, and I say this isn't me just again pushing short sales. Everybody who's making real money right now is doing it on defaulted properties.
That's right. Well, I came from the loan mod side. I went from the mortgage to the loan mod, then took the leap to short sale all by accident. But it's not about me. But yeah, I mean, see, if you talk to agents around here, they'll tell you short sales are dead.
Yes.
But 1 in 4 of them, still need a short, a loss mitigator to help them with it. And so what I'm finding is that, yeah, the pie may be shrinking in terms of short sales, but there's fewer and fewer agents competing for that business.
Right.
And so it really makes it still a great niche market. It's still my favorite niche, in the marketplace.
It seems the most logical, and especially with a regression in the marketplace. Now we're seeing the 3 to 5%. What do they call it now? Stabilization.
Yeah.
Call it whatever you will. We're going back. Probably by the end of the year, we'll go back We'll be back 5%.
Yeah.
This is the number that I don't think many people know about, and I haven't actually released on a blog. From the height of the market at 2006, we're still 20% below that figure.
That's right.
So, agents took the first opportunity this year to get away from short sales, puts a drop in sales, leaves wide open to that 1 in 4 who actually does it. We're at one of the lowest points ever in listings. I honestly thought, God is my witness, I knew at CAR it was going to be bad, but as I walk around, I thought this place was going to be marketing heavy. Like, I was desperately of the mindset after CAR, okay, maybe not CAR, we're not quite there yet, it was still summer. But certainly by NAR, we're in what's considered the dark period for real estate. I expected more boosts like quantum. By the way, I have researched quantum. Okay, some people need fluffy lead sources, I guess. But again, we go back to, okay, you got a lead source.
Is Quantum the postcard company?
No, no.
Oh, I don't know.
No, they're the booth right across the way. I was told by the handler to be nice. But they're basically a fluffy lead source leading into a CRM backend that they have.
Got it.
And again, I'm sure their fluffy lead source isn't anything special that hasn't. It's always data. What's the marketing piece? What's the delivery? Have you seen many short sales that actually start from the technology end?
Short sales, no.
Yeah, listen, right. It's always from a direct lead source.
It's people looking. It's homeowners looking for somebody with specialized knowledge to help them what they perceive as a specialized problem.
Which is why everybody starts off going to the family friend or family member who doesn't know jack diddly crap.
That's right.
That ultimately backs them into a David Harrison or to you or to Marlene.
Well, yeah, see, just yesterday, I got a call yesterday from a realtor friend who's got a friend. I guess it's a realtor client who has a friend who's got a foreclosure, and they're calling me, asking if I can help them. And the answer is obviously probably, but I just find that interesting. There's a lot of real estate agents who just don't have the knowledge, don't pretend to have the knowledge, and just want to outsource it to somebody who does have that knowledge so they can help their friends and family.
Now, here's the same thing that I was talking to Marlene about. All right. Obviously, you have to do all the hand-holding when you do mitigation on your end. You're also a broker. And this was the analogy I brought up earlier. The number one complaint about short sales and why agents don't want to go do them is the amount of work. But if you look at the marketing from trying to get a short sale or an equity listing, there's no variance. There's no, except one. With short sale people, I know for sure you've got to do the short sale. You've got to sell.
It is so much easier to get a short sale listing than a retail listing. There's no discussion about fees. There's no discussion about price. There's no, the only discussion you're having is, do you want this to go fast or you want it to go slow?
Right, right. How long do you want me to try to keep you in the house?
Exactly.
Right. No.
You want me to rip the Band-Aid off, or you want me to slow and drawn out so you can make as much money as possible?
And I tell agents this all the time. So you're writing a 6-month listing.
Right.
It's still a listing.
Or a year.
Whatever. I'll milk this sucker for you.
Well, especially if you're using a third-party mitigator who's going to do all the heavy lifting, and it's a set it and forget it for an agent who's using a third party. You just go on and it's just another deal in your pipeline.
Yes. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, this is the second source that I refer. I have 2 sources that I refer to. I have the Warm and Friendlies who they'll do way more hand-holding than Dave. Dave doesn't tolerate that crap. David's more of the cut and dry guy.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
so
just going to
funny.
get the deal done.
People ask me, what do you have two different mitigators? I said, certain people require certain people. I have both sources, and that's... I've actually had a third person, a former short sale genius person who wants to be considered for more mitigation. But a client that might not be right for Marlene might be David.
I would refer business to Marlene.
They're warm and fuzzy. In fact, when I watched Tina give that look of, she does too much for the client. There was literally, you did not see the look. I looked over at, well, are you inputting into the MLS? And I looked over at Tina and she did the, really? You go that, yeah, you can try to get out of it. This is like me not talking badly about marketers. So, by the way, Diana's still sitting by the phone, wanting to buy a new pair of shoes.
Hi, Diana.
So she probably will make a deal on the Monster right now. Another Monster user.
I was trying to stay anonymous, though. You just blew it.
Oh my gosh. True story. Okay, so this is why it's now a running joke. Recently somebody wanted to buy the Monster. We have 400 members who use the Monster. Lee, you don't have any testimonials. I haven't got a single one. In fact, one of my biggest agents in Florida, first week he bought it after the Florida event, got $1 million listing. Frickin' $1 million listing week one of using the product. Okay, I'll send you the video. Don't worry, it's on the way. The guy from Rhode Island, Chris, another multi-million-dollar, waiting for that testimonial. He told another investor.
Why would they want to share their leads in their market?
Here's what my guy in Rhode Island said. He was asked by another investor, "How are you getting all these deals?" I use this thing called the Monster.
You should charge more and give an exclusive.
Right, and this is what he told the other guy. Cost $4,500.
I just tell him I got mine for $199.
Well, you're a proctor.
He won't do.
Well, no. Here's the funny part, and I asked because Marlene is a former coaching of the big three. You're a former Proctor guy, right?
Yeah, still am actually.
If Craig had the Monster, how much would he charge for the Monster? Straight first fee, not the monthly. We know there'd be a monthly, but what would he charge the upfront on?
Oh, I'd have to say in the $2,000 range probably.
Okay, $2,000, and then a monthly of, would that be a platinum student?
Oh, easy. Yeah, you'd have to join their
after you filled out the
platinum
application
program or titanium.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be approved.
Okay, so bare minimum, it's $19.97 to buy in, and then $9.97 minimum per month.
It's a few deals a year.
It's a few deals a year.
Okay.
So that's, by the way, it won't cost you that much right now if you call Diana at 213-706-0040. Sell. We put the shorts in on the last one.
Did you?
We did. I will be here again tomorrow. I wanted David's been out going and doing what I've been doing. Anything mind-blowing that you've seen? Other than Penn and Teller? Which, by the way, you're a realtor. Want me to do the math for you that I did for them?
No,
so your realtor dollar paid at least, because Penn and Teller are doing a show tonight, so they had to have flown in.
Yeah. Private,
3 hours.
Yeah.
Minimum $25,000. Easy.
Maybe each.
Because I know those guys. They're shameless whores.
Yeah.
Got to read their books to appreciate how much of a whores they. And I would be too if you'd fly me to go sign autographs for 3 hours, not even perform. 25 to 50 grand. Flying back. Plus, you pay to get in to meet them. Why wouldn't the first question you be to Penn and Teller be, how do I get a listing? Yeah,
Well.
don't think that I didn't debate. I just walked by Penn Gillette. And I should probably I was going to. He was bored. I still have 15 minutes, by the way. I'm still debating going over and shooting that video. Because Penn would be into it. He'd be like, yeah, I'm cynical enough. Yeah, I get it. I know what you're after. He's that kind of guy. He'd get it.
Well, the answer is there's nothing mind-blowing.
Tony Danza last year at NAR? That's pretty mind-blowing.
Well, that's mind-blowing.
Why would you have Tony Danza? I mean, how... Not
Who's
only
Tony
are you...
Danza?
Right. I walked up and did the whole thing. Loved you and who's the boss? But I've only got one question. How do I get a listing?
Oh, are we going to go out and play tonight?
I wouldn't use that word. We're being watched by the Hammer.
Oh,
I know a place that does nothing but...
Did you want to go socialize and network this evening?
Thank you. I know a place that does nothing but pork. One of the Foodie Network guys.
Yeah.
So, if you've got agents.
I do.
Okay, what would you tell your first-time agents if they were coming to NAR? What should they be looking for?
You know what? I just saw a really cool app on Realtor.com is doing an app that is, you know, where it's a search thing. You can go down, you know, for searching homes. You give it to your buyers to search homes, and it's free.
Okay.
You download it on your phone, you personalize it, and then you send a link out to your buyer clients. And when they download it, it's your version, your branding, your marketing, your everything. All you have to do is go to Realtor.com
and it's free.
To do it, and it's free. It's really,
another
really
one of those.
cool.
There's another app that I still have to put together. I found a website that will actually build you a real app for both Android and iPhone.
Yeah.
Non-branded. The free one is branded. The non-free one.
We're on the air. Oh, hold on. You want a testimonial?
Another monster person who's actually admitting to it just showed up.
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny.
She's going to be more rich and more famous than she already is.
So funny. So we're at the Short Sale Solutions. Thank you. They're coming by to say hi.
You have groupies.
I do. Now tomorrow when I wear the tie and look like the banker, no one will recognize me.
Right. Well, you have
Today's rock star. The handler told me, one day rock star, one day banker. Nobody at the booth will talk to me dressed like this. I look like a horse's ass in a pair of jeans and a jacket.
Well, this is the National Association of Realtors.
You are dressed rock star. You got leather jacket and you got the pink purple.
And I didn't even have anybody lay my clothes out for me.
No, not at all. I'm at the Short Sale Solution booth today. I'll be here till 4 o'clock. I will be here again tomorrow, broadcasting 11, 1, and 3, bringing you more guests. So, what do we tell new agents? I mean, what would you tell your agents? I want a new deal. Where's the bus? Where do I start?
Where do you start? Well, I think you start with the existing database that they have. My big objective when I came here is to find one single technology platform that I can consolidate everything into and integrates with all the different apps, because if I've got to enter one more name into one more platform, I'm going to shoot somebody. Okay.
I'm actually utilizing one that I always push. By the way, go to Honish.com, click on the Vortex. Everything that he wants, there's a few of them that exist, but all the different parts and pieces are on Honish.com. Click on the Vortex. All of them are free, and they all do amazing things. But Roost, which is now Vertical Response, is pretty close. I'm using it for this broadcast. It's streaming out every 15 minutes on all my social media that I'm doing this broadcast. And the reason I tell you guys it's free, they're now charging after the first month, but even if I want a new listing, I'm not starting on a technology yet.
Well, what I'm saying is that
I think it's great for the touch campaign on the back end.
Well, my challenge, I think a lot of agents' challenge is I've already got all these leads. I don't want to even generate another lead until I'm confident we can handle more leads, because there's no central storing system. I mean, each individual in my system, we're working more of a team.
I know.
So it's not like
I actually know the booth you need to go to.
Oh, tell me what it is.
On that side, we'll go over there.
Okay.
I'm not sure of their name, but I can show them exactly who you're looking for. And they claim that it's like 15 or 20
I
different.
just want to be able to manage, because I use one technology for my follow-up email. I do another one for my task management. I do another one for my transaction management. I have one for the signature. I'm actually excited, switching gears, I'm actually excited about Cardivi over at DocuSign.
Yeah.
It's not new technology, but it's new to me. And, I thought I didn't really understand the difference. I saw a great presentation yesterday. Realtor.com looks like they're really going to be an up-and-comer.
They've integrated a lot of different things.
Their technology, they're accumulating technology tools and integrating them, and it really looks exciting. So I'm eager to really look at that.
If you have leads, I would say it's the most complete platform.
Yeah.
Now again, I'm back at the same problem, which is when I say leads, let me make this clear, and it's a theme that I'll talk about for the next 2 days. Not data. You want data, call Realty Trust.
That's right. That's right.
If you want a lead, that is a different creature.
All right. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about .realtor domain?
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I love the idea. I registered for mine yesterday.
I might have to get a leehonish.realtor since my former business partners own leehonish.com. In exchange, I bought shortsalegenius.com in exchange to be crappy to them.
Well, is there a
You would
deal
think.
there? You want me to
Well,
broker
no,
a deal
now
for
that
you?
they're all out of it. No, Diana couldn't do it either.
I am a professional negotiator.
Probably watching this. And what's really funny is we're all friends with Michael Hellickson, and one of them just signed up for Michael Hellickson's program, and I told Michael, I said, that's a former partner. He goes, will there be a problem? I'll get rid of him. I'm like, no, Michael,
It's such a big pond to swim in.
Really okay. I didn't start off wanting to be the biggest marketing guy. I just happen to have the best marketing product right now. What I still am at the end of the day is and I'll say the word, and it's not me pushing CDAT, which is free. CDAT was originally designed to be the back end for the marketing tool on my marketing, because I still think short sales are your easiest way to get new listings.
You want me to tell you about my monster experience?
Tell me about a monster experience.
All right, so I went, where did we go? Was it Pasadena? We were in Pasadena?
We were in Pasadena.
All right, so Pasadena, I finally decided I was going to get started.
Okay.
All right, so I went back determined, and of course, Diana, your handler.
Yes.
She was.
Now, by the way, here's the question I ask everybody.
She was handling me.
Now, here's the question I ask everybody. Because of our relationship, I gave it to Monster. And I don't normally give it out to a source that could theoretically be broadcast. Did you use it with the thought of, there is no possible frickin' way this thing could work?
No, I knew it was going to work. I knew that it was going to work. I just, my big challenge, I've only done it once. I've done one round, so I got 36 names. Diana held my hand.
Okay.
All right? So
Which she does for everybody. Did you do your walkthrough with Diana yet on the Monster? You figured it out immediately? She'll walk through with you. Okay.
Well, I'm not as smart as the women are, but I got 36 names, and then I hired a guy. To do it. I paid him $150 to deliver all 36 of the tags. I got
it's pricey.
Well, I offered him 50.
Yeah. Then we found out from one of my coaching calls how well it works when you lowball somebody to go put up your market.
No, I offered him $2 a label, and after about 10 hours, he said, "Hey, this is this is not enough." So I paid him $150 and he was okay with it.
I got shafted for 60 the first time I tried to lowball someone on tags.
Yeah, and then I got 7 calls from those 36. He didn't deliver all 36, by the way.
Of course.
32 maybe,
right.
Delivered 31.
They've got signs or they're home or whatever.
Yeah. And we got 6 or 7 calls. I got 3 appointments, and I have about 1 listing and 1 that I think I'll probably get a listing after they get turned down for the loan mod for the 5th time.
So you've got the 20% minimum, which is the guarantee, which is good.
But I have to admit, I bet I invested 3 hours.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm an agent starting out, and this is why I say, if you invest $1,000 one time, and you're getting weekly coaching, and Diana's going to hold your hand to do this, which isn't the NAR price, by the way, that's just sort of the standard price.
Yeah.
If you call Diana right now, she needs new shoes. She's liable to make any deal.
I was in Macy's last night, the biggest damn shoe department I've ever seen in San Francisco Union Square. Diana, hey, you missed out.
You missed out. Everybody's asking about her, and
they like her more.
I forget, what's the politically correct term when it's based on personal issues? Family issues? One of those. Her cat needed a sweater.
But on the Monster, if Diane said, well, why aren't you doing the Monster again? And it's not that I don't want to, not that I don't believe that it's going to work, but I've got like 7, 8 new listings in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just hard for me to stop and do it. But if I were sitting around twiddling my thumbs and I didn't know where I was going to get a listing, I'd go Monster like crazy.
What?
That's all I would do.
No, everybody asks about the Monster drink, and do I drink the Monster based on the drink? No, it's a 0-calorie, 000 drink. You can drink these all day, and it's caffeine and warm and tantrum. Of course, I've got a migraine, so it doesn't really matter anyway. No.
So did you find a sponsor for the wedding yet?
Wow, this is like way behind the scenes stuff today. All right, so let me answer both questions that are on the floor since Marlene's to my right and David's to my left. First question is, and I said this actually on a broadcast I did for my birthday event 2 years ago. with the infamous meltdown sequence, which is the greatest video of all time. I actually have a realtor who has a full...
Diane's texted me these questions, by the way.
Yes, I'm sure. By the way, Diane is available. Call her right now, 213-706-0040. Okay, the answer to the monster question. To me, being the cynically... I have a sense of humor. I know most people don't believe that, but I do. I thought it would be funny to name it a product that when people came up to ask me, it would make me smile each time. Lee, can you tell me more about your monster? That's exactly how I came up with it. It was just...
Do you have a picture of it?
Well, she's been with me. She's been with me long enough to actually understand why I would do something. I was a different guy. How much of an effect has Diana had on my life exactly? Yay for Diana. Okay, now to the second question. So someone once told me that they had a daughter's reception sponsored by a title company, and I thought, holy crap, that's brilliant. And since Diana and I have become somewhat Kardashian-like in our realtor circle, I'm up to God knows how many friends and however many she has, and of course the 13,000 list is well aware. For those that don't know, Diana's the CEO of my company, my fiance, yada yada yada.
She's the brains behind the operation.
She's the brains behind the
Lee
growth
would be bankrupt
and the
without her.
calmness of the Lee Honish brand. I thought,
she's all things Lee.
How hilarious would it be to get somebody to sponsor it? Now, actually, Marlene brings up a great point. If I asked Anchor Loans and Robert Fregoso to go get Dre's and turn it into one of his flash mob mixers with his list.
Yeah, and you let him do the toast.
Oh yeah, Robert's brilliant at that stuff. Oh my God, it would be the real estate event of the year.
Yeah.
And people would still be going, who's Lee Honish?
But they'd be saying, great party.
Yeah, I think I get more people don't ask about me. They want to know where Diana is, which I don't know. If I'm hurt after teaching 50,000 agents?
You should be flattered.
I am flattered. I am. And she's not here.
She's part of this Batman and Robin thing you got going on.
The set of instructions of how I'm supposed to go meet people at the booth is hilarious. I'm allowed to meet them, make sure that they're aware of her name, make sure that she will be the one who's calling them back. Do not make a deal.
Have you made some bad deals, Lee?
Marlene was sitting over here a minute ago, and we were just talking about the level of crap I have given away, stuff that other people have tried. Here's a good example for those of you who don't believe me. Go to the Vortex on Honish.com and look at that list. That was a 20-hour compilation based on a book that I had read about 1,000 free things on the web. So I compiled it all into what would be useful for a realtor. And it's step by step. Fill all this out, you've got a complete online presence. There is a woman in Vegas who I trained on how to do short sales. I've known her for a long time, named Lori Ballin. Everybody knows Lori. She teaches a class based on everything that's basically in that funnel. She holds her hand. And I say, our friends, Bob Irish and Jacob Swada. Same concepts. Yes, you need a Yelp page. Yes, you got to have a... But they sit there and they hold your hand and help you put it together. So again, the car wash analogy. While I realize they're free, I will show you where to go get the soap and the tools to go wash your car. If you want somebody to hold your hand and do it with you, Mentor Me Now is a great program with Jacob and Bob. There's a plug for them. Lori Ballin has great courses online and both in Vegas. But if you don't believe me about how shamelessly you need to use these tools, go to Lori Ballin's Facebook page. She cranks out more marketing on her Facebook. She makes me look like a rookie. And I'm a spamming, spam monster.
Do you spam?
So I'm listening to Seth Godin on the way up, and he has to explain in his book written in '93 about
permission marketing.
The greatest book ever written.
Right.
It's only the 5th time I've listened to it and/or read it, but I was having some issues with the monster, and not on the monster on the way it works. I want tighter conversion. I want to me when I go up to a booth, first words out of my mouth aren't great lead source, great marketing tool. What's your conversion? And until the day that somebody can look me square in the face and not say that magic word, 0 to 100%, Well, yeah, monkeys might fly out of my butt. There's a 0 to 100% chance on that too. Why don't you just say it's based on the realtor? It's much better that way than saying 0 to 100%. I want people to show up at NAR, and I did this at CAR. If you're here, we did this at CAR. Walk up to everybody who's got a marketing tool and go, what's the conversion ratio? And if they say 0 to 100%, look at them and smile and go, monkeys might fly out of my butt. There's a 0 to 100% chance of that too. In fact, one of the people that I will be working with, who's a data source, actually came over to meet me based on people going up to his booth going, well, monkeys might fly out. He goes, you're the guy.
That's your secret password.
That's my secret password. For those of you that are a little more prim and proper, go meet Penn and Teller and ask them how to get listings, which I'm sure Penn has a sense of humor about it and would probably go, they paid us a lot of money to take a picture with you. And that's probably exactly what Penn would say because he's a no-nonsense guy. I'm obsessed with this concept, why I listen to permission-based marketing again. Diana had brought up a point. She goes, yeah, you're a permission-based guy, but the monster starts off as interruption. I said, kind of. And then I listened to Seth's book again. He goes, all permission-based marketing starts with bait on the hook.
Yeah, that's right.
The monster is probably the highest.
They're opting in.
And his point is 100%.
Exactly
he goes,
right, yeah.
If you're going to go fishing, you still want the best.
That's right.
Best bait on the hook.
They're opting in. I mean, you're putting a sticker on their door, and they're either responding or they're not responding.
Right.
And as long as you don't go to their door selling, you're going to be fine. If you go there with service in your heart, you're going to do fine.
You're going up the food chain on permission. You're doing I'm going into the level of it. And I think the focus, and people ask me, what's the secret to the monster? I said, it's not the marketing piece. It's not.
In fact, even if they are home, you don't knock. You just put the sticker on the door and leave.
You put the marketing
away.
piece up and sneak away. By the way, 213-706-0040. The point that I'm after is the coaching that we're doing now is about the chain of permission. And the one thing that I'm sure of and that I wanted to reinforce to listen to a book from 1993, number one was, you are a fool if you do interruption-based marketing on any level.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, to get 3% on a mailer is great. The fact that there are still people saying it's the best way to get a new listing to someone who's flat busted broke, it's nuts.
Right.
And I did this with Marlene as well, which is, we now know for sure, second person to reinforce, Randy's floating around somewhere.
She's yawning.
She's tired. I don't think she's seeing Foreigner tonight. Tomorrow night. Foreigner, not Journey. Get it right. And it's not Journey, it's got the Filipino guy. I'd drive up the state line if I had the energy to go see Robert Irvine in Tahoe right now. That's sad. And pay $65 to watch him cook on stage. And not even eat the food. But there's an ROI on it for Diana if I learn any cooking techniques. I'm obsessed with this. When I come to these shows, I'm obsessed with it. My question would be, you want to go see Hillary Clinton in 30 minutes, right? The only question I'd have is, how does this get me new listings? I'd ask Hillary. I wouldn't say, ooh, I get a picture with the, she's not she's former Secretary of State.
Yeah, can I write?
She's a former,
maybe
right?
I can write a blog.
What does she do right now? What is her job?
Running for president.
Right. Okay. Okay, don't get me wrong. She's an ex-first lady, and she probably will be the next president.
Probably.
Why? Because Obama paid to keep people in their house so that the economy didn't fall apart. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad strategy. He delayed the inevitable and probably dumped it on Hillary, or I would pray that Ron Paul would run and be sensible, but he always talks crazy. But he'd want to get rid of the Fed, and that would get him killed. And that's me being a former banker going, yes, I agree, we should get rid of the Fed, but it's not going to happen, and you'll die trying. We're delaying the inevitable on loan loss. That's why we all know David Harrison. That's why you have to know the guy who does that kind of work. But it's a 15% success ratio. You came in doing loan mods. It's 15%, no matter how you slice and dice it. It's always going to be 15%.
And I thought making home affordable was going to make it easy.
By the way, they're here.
I saw them.
They've got one of the crappier booths.
Well, they're only a multi-billion-dollar agency. They could have spent more than $500.
Equator, who's losing clients left and right, has a better booth. Remarkably, CDPE
Who's
did not.
Equator?
Yeah. There you go, mitigator. There's nobody doing short sales. Why would they pay the monthly
Well, the
fee
banks
to be
are
a part
paying.
of-
I don't even know how they get
Do
paid.
they still have preferred Equator? Right, but you can pay to be a part of the preferred Equator program and probably get NOD leads.
I don't know if they're paying.
And that's how
per
they say
print.
it, NOD leads. Which again, for most of you, is free because you don't live in California, which kills me. We're the only people who have to that have to pay for free data. If I'm in Nevada, I get free leads. I get the data for free. I don't need realty tracking to call my title rep. They'll get my NODs and my notice of sales. Same everywhere. California's the only one with the stupid RESPA law.
Oh, really?
I've heard it's in other places, but
I don't know. It's not that hard to get the data though. So
all right, what's the best free data? What's the best data source? If I want a new listing, what am I going to use for data? Am I using Red X?
Not for, no, I'm going to go for convenient. I'm going to go to Realty Track.
You're using Realty
Or I'm
Track.
going to go to Foreclosure Radar.
She's using Foreclosure Radar.
So that's where I'm going to get the data. I mean, you have to pay for it, but it's really easy to access.
Yeah, right. It's part of the package.
It's not that big a deal.
Okay. So
I mean, it's not enough to whine about it, but I guess I could see people it would impede them from wanting to do it for some reason, but
I think if Realty Track wanted to make more money, and if Darren's watching this, I would say it to his face, you need to change it and call it a lead source.
yeah.
Stop calling it a data source because that's too technical for everybody.
Yeah.
And again, the reason I was listening to Seth on the drive up for all those hours, he's right. Every form of marketing starts with the data, except an interruption where you don't give a crap, and that's why the percentages are so low.
Right.
But if you're using a specialized source, tell me another data source, and Marlene was talking about this, don't do probate. It's a pain in the ass. It's even 5 times the work of a short sale. But agents would rather do a probate. They want an expired listing. Okay, so now we're dealing with an emotional homeowner who can't price his property correctly, which is one of the deals she's going through right now. What else does that leave? Divorce? All right, maybe you can get the attorney to put the deal together because you only need one side. You will have to liquidate the property. It's a public data source, and it still works. At the end of the day, going beyond NOD, NOS, or even 30, 60, and 90 late, it's got to be the easiest way if I'm just starting off to go find a listing, or is it old school door knocking?
I don't know.
I'm
not going door knocking. I can't get that hungry.
She's actually got a pretty interesting concept, which
I'm
is
not saying it
5
doesn't work. I
monsters.
just said it doesn't work for me.
No, well, no, here was her move. Still knew it was NOD, NOS. Knock the door, they're not home, then tag them with the monster. Not a bad idea.
I don't dislike that.
You had your package with you that you would have taken anyway.
Yeah, you might as well
Diana's
offer
going
it
to
to 'em.
start yelling at me going, well, yeah, you should do it that way.
Well, I'm
My
staying out
whole
of the
thing
middle
is
of
this.
that. Yeah.
No, here's my thing on it. Those that don't respond via the monster are people who wouldn't respond to any message. And if I knock on a door and say, hey, you got to notice the default, I want to give you a package for a loan mod or whatever, or I'm a homeowner advocate, all they have to do is call the DRE and complain about you. Whether or not it's accurate, now they're in your short sale business. Right. And again, here's the reason I bring, and the reason I talk about it. At least with the monster, you're opt-in. You opt in, you're getting a delivery of something. You add the script on your call center. It is about a defaulted loan. You've turned it into a lead source. Without the door knocking, right. Which is the only reason I stay pure to the subject of don't drop a package, don't do it. All you need is one person to call the DRE and go, they told my maid that I was in default. Well, it's public data. Go. Technically, I say this.
They have a maid and they're in default?
Well, or the gardener. Or we had this happen on one of Diana's deal, and she doesn't like me to talk about it, but the person she had putting stuff up in their office dropped a package at a place that didn't respond to the monster. That woman called, and she was bat crap crazy. I'm going to call the DRE, I'm going to do this, and I talked her, of course, down and off the ledge. I said, but it's public data, you nutbag. Your gardener already knows you don't pay your bills, because I guarantee you probably don't pay him. Or you've been late a couple of times. The tendencies of somebody who's in default, who's already a nutbag to begin with, here's my whole thing. Because I've been a part of Short Sale Genius, which is also was a brokerage, all it takes is for them to be interested in you to get them to be on their radar.
That's all you're trying to do is get people to raise their hand.
Right.
In fact,
if
all the marketing
off the DRE radar with my marketing, and we all know this from doing marketing, it doesn't take a whole lot for someone to call the DRE, and if you've got ancillary business or main business, no matter how you look at it, do you want them looking at all your files? No. I know this as a guy who's worked at a bank, and I'll say this to everybody. You don't want the DRE looking at your regular real estate files. Yeah. You've done something wrong. Holy crap!
Well, you can.
Eric Mitchell makes an appearance.
Here, you can. What happens is you can win, but you still lose, even if they come knocking.
No matter what. No matter what.
It's like dealing with the IRS.
It's lose-lose.
Yeah, even if you win, you lose.
Oh my God, we are the most inbred group of people. It's always David and Eric and Marlene. And wait, Randy's floating around somewhere, so we'll have a Randy Cochran. Wait, here's the funny part. Randy will be making an appearance, but Randy doesn't want to pay to get in, so he's doing his usual routine of trying to figure out a way to get in without... Didn't you hear his story about sleeping on couches? Did you hear his story in Florida about sleeping on couches? Oh my God! To know Randy is to love him. He actually is part of.
There's 5 vendors that are giving away free passes.
Yeah. Are there?
Yeah, I've been getting emails all for 2 weeks.
Randy is currently trying all the vendors he knows to get his free pass to get in. I love Randy. Randy will take a free deal every time. He's standing out there.
Getting a free expo pass is no big deal.
We'll have him in tomorrow. Are you here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll come by and you'll sit in for a session. We're doing the live broadcast routine.
Right? Yeah.
It's only another 1,000 people. And Diana's sitting at home taking your call right now, 213-706-0040 by the monster. I'm shamelessly selling while I'm here. I'm just trying to find a data source. I swear to God, that's all I'm here for.
Well,
somebody show me some data that's new that I can use the monster on.
What's wrong with Realty Tracker Foreclosure Radar?
Nothing wrong with it at all. In fact,
so
Eric is
what are we talking
the
about?
mastermind behind getting Realty Track to show underwater data. Yeah, I know. I told them they need to monetize it. They're idiots. And if you're watching, Garrett, and I don't mean that in a bad way, you should be selling that data.
No, but why is that data not enough? What data
it is.
Do you want?
I'm always looking for an innovation. My whole thing is new agent, first time in, starts with data. What's the fastest route to listing? Yes, I agree. It's the monster for direct marketing. It's not going to be technology-based. It's not going to be about me video blogging. It's not going to be about my website. It's going to be about how do I get face-to-face first with a homeowner that has to sell. That's your quickest way to a listing, period. There's no way around it. It's got to be permission-based because that's the only way I know of that will actually get you to a listing on a conversion without the skill. I know you have to go.
I got to go.
Because you're going to go see Hillary.
And NAR president.
Will you actually ask her the question? If you, okay, no problem. Are you going to go see Hillary?
I just got here.
Okay. Hillary Clinton speaking in 15 minutes.
Where?
The main hall somewhere.
If I can figure out how to take my laptop in and broadcast it, I'm sure Realtor.com is, so I'll stay away from it. I don't want to get in trouble with those people. Okay, come by tomorrow.
They're like the Gestapo.
They are. I'm hashtagging and I'm at Realtor on all these broadcasts. Let's see if I can get them to retweet.
They're very excited.
It'd be funny if I got a couple of suits from Realtor.com to come over and go, you need to stop. Really? You know how many people are doing live broadcasts from their booths right now? I'm not even inventive anymore. When I first started doing it last year, it was cutting edge. This year, it's you got a laptop and you got a decent mic, you can broadcast.
All right, so let me ask you a question before I go, because I'm interested in your opinion. What do you feel? What do you think about Auction.com and NationStar?
Okay, this came up because it's big in Vegas. Auction.com, HomePath, and NationStar. I think it's a triad.
Okay.
I think it is a brilliant way to liquidate REOs that are in, as Darren would put it, zombie state without getting agents involved.
Yeah, but agents are involved still.
Barely.
And they're still...
Barely.
Okay, I'm doing my first one right now.
Okay, what's your commission cut on?
I think it's 6%.
It's still 6? They haven't cut you yet?
No, it's
My
whatever
stories
was
are the
offered
cuts-
in the listing. This is why I'm asking.
I've heard stories of
I
commission
don't
cuts.
know. I've got 7, 8, I don't know, Nation Star deals,
Okay.
but only 3, maybe 4 are going to auction. They're not even all going. Marlene and I were talking about this yesterday. So this is why I've been thinking a little more about it. So we have one that's in auction until tomorrow.
Okay.
Our first one started November 7th. It ends on November. So I went on the website last night just to see so we have an offer in at $330,000 for the property.
Okay.
That's what the deal that we submitted for approval was $330,000. And last night, with 1 day and 12 hours to go, the bid was at $250,000. Okay, so I guess if the bid gets up if it stays under $330,000, then that buyer, they proceed, and I guess they're supposed to issue the approval at $330,000, and then
Correct.
Then you go, and if it goes over, then whoever the buyer was, they void the contract. They don't they don't counter, they just kick it out, and then they accept the offer, which I don't think is even legal.
It isn't, and I've also heard stories of nickel and diming on the back end of the deal.
Well, the buyer's paying a 5%, premium on the back. But so here's what I did. I sent an email, or I did a live chat with Nation Star. Sorry.
It's all right.
I did a live chat with Nation Star and was asking if I bring a buyer, because I'm not the listing agent, I'm just the mitigator, right? So if I bring a buyer, what is my commission? Because I have buyers and we're watching the auction, and because we're thinking about doing bids. You got to do your $2,000 deposit, I guess, and then you make your bid. Do we get our commission? And they went, after a little research, the answer was yes. So I said, well, what is? I said, what is the commission? She said, well, you have to. And they gave me the listing agent's name to ask them what it was. Of course, I have the copy of the listing agreement. So I said, well, the listing agreement says that it's going to pay 2.5%. Is that what it's going to pay? And they said yes. So apparently, if
there's a dispute on commission, it's not going to fall back on auction.com. It's going to fall on the broker
or
out of their. It's going to be still on the other end of the deal.
See. Listen,
auction.com is theoretically just a third party.
Well, right. Well, see, this is the challenge. See, the way that I always understood, and the way I teach, and the way you teach, is a short sale is nothing more than an agreement between a buyer and a seller that's approved by the bank.
Now it's a buyer and a seller and a third party and a third party.
It's a buyer and
seller and two third parties.
Now
that you have fiduciary responsibilities to all four parties.
Well, I remember the auction guy said, doesn't the bank have a right to get full fair market value?
No.
And I says, no, they have the right to do their own independent valuation.
Correct.
They can't dictate who the buyer is going to be on the deal. It's not an REO. I said, this is not an REO. Nation Star does not own the bank. They don't get to choose the buyer.
That's correct.
They can approve the buyer,
now
but they can't pick the buyer.
So that, look, correct. They get a kickback on the back end. There's a point taken out of the fee on the front end from the broker that got involved on the other end. There's also been weird rumors. Now it's dropped. And I've heard really bad stories about things being cuts on HUDs on the backside, and agents getting flat out cut out of the deal. That seems to be.
Well, that's what my concern is that the
I've
agents
heard
are
lots of getting cut out of the deal stories.
And they're not doing all of them, so we'll see. I'll have an update
And I
next
wonder
week.
when the investors fall into play on top of this, and they start cutting everybody out of the loop, even though.
That would be fine if they did their own marketing. Go market for your own damn homeowner.
Right.
But other than that, don't mess with the contracts that are already in place. Auction.com reserves the right to bid up it's just because they're already being paid. So they reserve the right to bid against any buyer on the platform.
Right. So does that mean we're bidding against the Coke machine?
Yeah.
Right. No, this is just like eBay, where I'm fighting. I'm getting that vibe of I'm bidding against a bot.
Yeah.
I'm bidding against a bot. I'm not going to get this laptop for $5.
A buyer doesn't have the time to sit and watch the auction because they're at work. So they tell auction.com, bid up for me at $1,000 increments.
Right.
Here's my map. Auction says, thank you very much. You just laid all your cards on the table. So they're going to bid them up to whatever their maximum is. They
I
reserve
agree.
that right.
I agree. But it's a falsism. It's not. Auction.com is just clever marketing for a covered up back end that allows for more nickel and diming by the banks and NationStar and everybody else. It's ultimately it was designed for, and I'll say this to everybody, you have to understand REOs have to be liquidated. We've all got to come to grips with it.
But these aren't REOs.
I get that.
Sell your REOs that way.
I get that. Because they haven't gotten the REOs through
or
yet.
offer a cash for keys
Because
and then
they
take
still
it.
haven't
if,
because they still haven't figured out how to deal with the securitized portfolios.
Yeah.
They've moved the model onto short sales because they got to keep money to keep these systems afloat.
Yeah. I mean, see, to me, the right thing to do is cash for keys. You want to sell the property, you want to own it, then do a cash for keys. Give them $3,000, $5,000. Give them a move-out date, and then do whatever the heck you want with the property after you own it.
Well, look, let's go beyond that. How is Auction.com involved in this anyway? Isn't it the seller making the decisions, or are they being forced into this?
Well, that's the problem.
Right, which you cannot legally do.
That's right. That's an agreement between a buyer and a seller is approved by the bank.
Right. We're back to what I said in 2007. If anybody wants a history lesson, we'll go back to my original 2007 history lesson of it's a flat-out RESPA violation. We've got third parties now involved, acting as principals. It's completely and utterly illegal. Not even like it's completely illegal. And the reason the banks have gotten away with it, much like they've gotten away with everything else, last year it was strategic default was the catchphrase. You're going to go to jail for that. This year it's if you don't use auction.com, you're going to go to jail or you're not going to get the deal. Every year it's something.
Right.
This is just the 2014 version of Next for short sales.
I have gotten 4 of mine out of auction.com.
See ya.
And
He's off to see Hillary.
yeah. Hillary
We did another hour in the can. This was a good one.
So I walked through the entire thing down here. And there
They
was
went through their-
I looked through all of this.
And what did you learn?
There's absolutely nothing here I'm interested in.
They're a fluffy data source with a CRM. And for those of you who don't know what a fluffy data source means, it means a data source that anybody can get their hands on. What they're really selling is their CRM and their back-end products and their websites. But they're marketing it behind leads and lead management. Okay. So you got a cool CRM. What's the difference between that and me getting, Realty Commander? I'm not going to give a plug because they've just gotten crazy these days. And if you're watching Lee, yeah, you got crazy. I don't know. You got away from what made you great, much like Short Sale Genius. Everybody, we need to do this. No, you need to do what brought you to the den. At the end of the day, if somebody called me up and said, Lee, you need to teach us short sales, okay. I just know the truth. When you listen to the market, what does the market want? The market wants more deals. Does that mean that I can't have a discussion about auction.com and NationStar? I'm asked about it all the time, and my answer is the same. You allowed the fox into the hen house again. Now instead of Titanium Solutions being forced on homeowners, now the force is auction.com and NationStar.
we kept them away from 4 of our deals.
You have to. You got to, let me guess, without me even having done a single deal. It's got to be done in writing, like a full written proposal request for it not to be involved with auction.com.
Yeah, we do an opt-out.
Right. It's got to be an opt-out, and it's hoop jumping, right?
Oh, it's major hoop jumping.
Right. Shocker.
It's
And
arm
I didn't even know
wrestling.
anything about it, and I got it right first try. People look at me and they go, how do you know? Because it was designed by a bank, for a bank, by an asset manager, and if all else fails, ask me, I will tell you what a bank will do every time. They will figure out a way to cut your commission. They will figure out a way for a third party to come in because that neutral third party is not hired by the seller. Therefore, it gives them the advantage in the negotiation to make sure it's getting a maximized value, which is ultimately all this is. It's a mask to get a fair market value instead of somebody. Again, this obsession of asset managers. For those that don't know the market, the only people buying right now are investors. That is more than 50% of the buying source right now. It is all cash investors throwing money on the market. They don't like to historically pay fair market value. How do I keep you from doing it? Well, we'll use auction.com. We'll set it up with the eBay model. We'll keep jacking the price up. Ultimately, it'll get to that price. Well, how do we force that on a seller? We tell them they have to do it. Well, how do we do that? Our power is beyond your comprehension. We are the almighty bank. That power has gotten B of A into so much trouble that they no longer are allowed to mitigate their own files anymore. Yay for B of A and their extraordinary abilities. And no knock on them, but you can certainly go online and read about their Section 42 filings and all the hearings that they just had a month ago that caused half of their bank to leave in the mitigation department. And it wasn't because short sales were over, it's because of the unethical practices. Allegedly. Of course they settled everything. And I don't want to get in trouble because Matt Vernon's on my list, and I love Matt Vernon because he likes everything but the monkey video. His words, not mine. Which I should probably bring back. If you think it's creepy and it's going on behind the scenes, it's probably being done by a bank. The number one thing a bank looks for in a short sale transaction, because they are involved, they want to cut the money, they want to maximize their return, they want fair market value. Let's go back to what I taught in 2007 for those that were taught by me. What are the only things that matter in the deal? The value, the offer, the HUD.
Right.
Auction.com is just a clever way to clean up the value, the offer, and the HUD. And skim off the top. And they make their point for being in the middle. I'm sure it's not a point, but even if it's $100 a transaction, 5%. And again, if that 5% ROI-wise, much like titanium when they use that model, if it's getting people to the table and it's getting them fair market value, are they losing 5% to investors on short sales? They might be. Because we all know that investors do nothing but spray low-ball offers and play the barking game. You have to deal with it in your daily basis.
But after they've done the appraisal and after they've done the BPO, they're saying, well, we need to validate our offer or validate our price. And I said, if you've done a BPO and an appraisal and you can't figure out what the price is, then you need to train the people better.
Again, because agents are unaware of how to do appropriate valuation. I probably have to have Justin again. It's probably time for another Justin infusion for everybody.
Right, but if Nation Star can't figure out what the value of their property is, they have a problem.
Right.
That's my point.
No,
It's like,
and again,
don't go to auction.com
appraisers don't know how to appraise because we changed that system.
Right.
I mean, I talk to Justin about this all the time. Why does someone like Robert Fregoso have a job forever at Anchor Lowe's? He does the valuation. He's not doing a deal because he's just a great marketer and he throws a great party. He can tell you the value of what it's going to be today, tomorrow fixed up, and a year from now if you build a whole new house. Why did my friend Justin get involved with start giving out, doing hard money deals as well? He can tell you the value today, what it's going to be tomorrow, and people will trust money in that. Auction.com will tell you what the value is going to be tomorrow, because I can ultimately say it's going to sell at $300 or it's not going to sell. And since the seller already signed the contract, that's what it's going to sell for. So people ask me about this Nation Star combo all the time. It's going to go for fair market value. Well, what's fair market value?
What the market's willing to pay.
Whatever the market's willing to pay.
Plus 5.
Well, that's not what it's going for. It's going for what the bank wants. And I said, that's fair market value in their mind. And where was their fair market value set by? An agent who did a CMA, it was cross-referenced against the valuation that the bank did as a second party and a third party.
Right.
And in the middle, they came up with a number plus or minus what the market will do. It's not what the market will bear.
Right, exactly.
In a declining market, it's different. Is it bank generally projecting up? Yes, because that was the trend. Will it change next year? Yes, because the market's trending down.
The bank's 90 days behind because they believe their BPO value, and until they reevaluate their property again, they're going to stick with that number all day long.
Correct. And as you see, the lights are coming off at Wrigley Field. We're at the end of a baseball game. Join me tomorrow where we'll have Eric Mitchell, it appears, as a guest. Again, another friend of all of ours. Randy Cochran. Have you met Randy? Randy's the credit guy. We'll have a credit guy by. You need to get involved with Randy's program. We'll have him by to the short sale booth. Again, let me show off their nifty. This is why everybody's stopping and taking photos. That's the reason right there. With my face in the picture. There's a screenshot. I hope you guys are enjoying these broadcasts. If you're not, by all means, I'm going to teach you about permission-based marketing right now. At the bottom of the email I sent you, it says unsubscribe. That is your permission. By all means, opt out. But then, you will miss, that was actually a really good conversation for anybody in this business. And Diana will be by the phone all night sending me texts, making sure I'm not having any fun. So call her and buy the monster, 213-706-0040. Go to shortsalesapproved.com, sign up. David was nicely enough to come by and not say a word about his own mitigation, so we won't plug him. He won't watch the video either. No one will tell him. But he was fantastic today. So the girls get all the work. Anything you see here, anything you send back to me, it's all going to the girls because they were nice enough to at least get me a badge that my friend Randy's still trying to figure out how to get one. All you need to do is get one of these and turn it around. Walk right in. Right. Not to mention Randy's a realtor, which means he just doesn't even want to pay the $35 to get in. Which is the most frugal thing outside of me driving to San Francisco from LA. I did the math.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Why would I stay in San Jose instead of San Francisco? Because I can get a 4-star in San Jose with a 30-minute drive than staying in the city and paying...
We have a 20-minute drive.
Yeah, wait, who's going to pay $300 to be a block away? For a room that's a 2.5-star? I admit I'm a snob. I'll stay at the Peabody, but I'm not going to pay $300. I'll pay $50 in another city. That's just me. I understand the value of the dollar, which is why the monster's on sale for NAR pricing. 213-706-0040. Visit Short Sale Approved. We'll be back tomorrow. I have shot some video. I did not talk to Penn and Teller. I was talked out of it by multiple sources. We will not be having a Tony Danza moment at this year's, although they do have people coming for photos tomorrow. I think Penn would be into it, and therefore it wouldn't be as much fun. If I got a Tony Danza tomorrow type person, that's who you really want at the end of the day. And if you come by, bring me your card. I will be giving away a week of coaching in your office with me, up to 50 of your people. I'll put all 50 on the monster. So come by, find me, sign up, blah, 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 blah. You have a day. So if you're coming tomorrow, I will be here at this booth most of the day or about here. So come and see me. I will be dressed as a banker. Won't even recognize me. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you all tomorrow.